Rolling again, T. Happy Easter, brother.
Happy Easter, man.
Easter 2019. What did we learn this year?
Kids love candy.
Yeah, man. Let me ask you, because you have a slightly different background. All right. You did the whole, Catholic school?
Yeah, Christian school. Yeah.
Christian school, okay. Does that have any bearing on how you celebrate your holidays? Because some people celebrate Christmas and Easter. There's religious holidays they celebrate differently, I'm guessing, than your average person, like your average Joe Schmo, me.
Yeah.
I'm not a churchgoer, not a believer, none of that. Does that anything for how you celebrate, or?
I mean, no, I do like the Easter Bunny thing. I don't like go to church or anything on it.
Right.
I'm not a big churchgoer myself either. But I guess to like kind of answer that, I've seen some like posts. I have like people on Facebook who are like they're religious and Christian,
right?
You know, so
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
But from the posts I've read this year, they like to make a thing that like the Easter Bunny's fun and everything, but like that's not what Easter's about. That's their message.
They're putting the bunny down.
Well, the one I read by said like apparently. Like I didn't get a chance to actually read into it and follow the research, but the Easter Bunny was like a pagan fertility like holiday. You know, kind of like Christmas, like was a pagan holiday, and then
so was Easter.
Yeah,
it gets its roots from paganism, and those like I can't even imagine being back in those times.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm basing that on absolutely zero research on pagans, going off the tiny bit of experience in a game that I played that had you get into like a mystical, not magical, mystical pagan village, and part of the game you're sneaking through that village, and yeah.
So I don't know, like we're talking about Europe after the fall of Rome,
right?
Right. And as Rome was falling, Christianity, like Constantine, like, you know, made Christianity the official religion of like the Roman Empire at that time. And after that, it started to snowball and gain more traction, but they just started to just co-opt pagan holidays to like make it an easier transition for pagans converting. So that's kind of why they did it. But no, Europe after the fall of Rome, no, not a place you'd want to be.
No, I don't think I'd want to be around in any of those times. I mean, think about, like, we can throw this all over the map. But especially those times when you mention, or what about if you were trying to learn about astronomy or science or physics from back then, and you come up with something, a theory, had a way of explaining it that went against the church.
Well, you're talking about like Galileo, or something like that. Yeah,
I mean, you could get locked up, imprisoned for the rest of your life.
Yep,
people were. Yeah, those days aren't friendly for inquisitive minds.
No,
and you can dang well believe that there was no National Enquirer or Bat Boy tabloids back then.
So,
you know,
I have heard like from some other sources too, though, that the Catholic Church at that time did like take innovation, but they were just slow to adopt innovation.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, like they got on board with like Galileo and his ideas just some time after, you know.
Yeah, I mean if I've learned anything in life, and I'd like to think I at least learned one or two things in 30 some odd years, change is usually inevitable and also very uncomfortable.
Yeah, people.
I mean, I guess there's some oddball weirdos out there that thrive on change. Mix it up, make it different, you know, whatever. Okay, but not me. I don't like it, you know.
No, I like learning new skills, and I like diving into new stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. That can be 100% fun. But yeah, no. No, I like being complacent about some things, but I also have enough of an awareness that, like, look, some stuff does have to change. You know what I mean?
Well, like, so like when I was during my work hiatus there, I thought it was going to be like, well, I'll take a break, spend time with my daughter and like, and family and whatnot. And, like get to play some video games.
Right.
Turns out I stopped playing like video games hardcore.
Right. Like, yeah, gaming was your thing,
Yeah.
but you on hiatus from that for now, undetermined, or just you haven't lost the love, but you haven't been doing it.
I haven't been doing it. It's just honestly, like, now that I'm back in work and now that I'm back to work and stuff, like, yeah, I don't know. Just, well, before, like, I would find like an hour or two at night,
Right.
you know, but like,
Not as important now.
even finding that hour or two at night, like, I'm just like, I feel like a guilt trip that I'm not spending time with the family now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just getting over that. But, well, then I rolled into like, I was like, I had got that going, and I'm like, oh, it's Lent. And I'm like, well, hey, might as well.
Lent.
I was like, hey, let's keep the no gaming rolling, I guess, for a little bit longer, see how that goes. And basically a cop out, because basically me consoling myself in a way, like, you might not want to play video games as much after this either. So
That's all right, man. It's change is good though, you know. And that's what I said. I've said it a couple times. I'm going to repeat myself millions of times. Anybody that's going to follow the ongoing episodic chronicle of this show, this experience, and we talked about it with the hobbies. If you want to pick up a new hobby, you got to evaluate what you got going on in your life. And if you're picking especially something that takes time to grow, to build, yeah, you gotta cancel something else out. And that's, I try to make time for everything, but I don't always succeed.
You know, the time is money, and you got to bank that time wisely, you know?
Right. And you can't really charge the family. Like,
No,
look, you know,
they get a pass. They get the time, you know?
Yeah.
You can't, like,
yeah. No, it was good though. I can definitely say it was good to have a day off. No work. I did absolutely zero work today, even on the podcast, except for maybe 15 minutes I sat down and just listened to last week's blunder, from last week. Listened to that and thought about what all was going on, what all do I need to correct it. Did a couple clicks, waited for it to, do its thing, and listened. And I got some of the quality back. But yeah, that's, as far as work, that's all I did. I mean, I did a lot of work on camera today. It's a holiday taking pictures, but yeah, no actual work. And it was good for once. Usually when I'm not at work, I'm kind of at odds. Like, I feel like I should be doing something.
yeah.
And I didn't have that feeling today. I actually wanted to relax and, play, sit, eat, enjoyed some good food.
Yep. Well, yeah. Now, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think I'll probably end up gaming again once I'm back into the routine of the new job, and like I have a lot of time again. Like, once I'm not. Well, the thing, I get up at like 4:30 now.
Yeah, that's a bit of a different schedule, right?
I was getting up at it's only like 2 hours earlier. But the thing is, like, it's a shift too. Like, my shift ends 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, so you're getting more of a day.
Yeah, so it's a trade-off. And but yeah, just I'm getting used to waking up that extra little bit earlier. And yeah, imagine once I get into the swing of it, then I'll, once I got a little purpose, then I won't beat myself up so much for enjoying myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand. I've been there, man. Been there, done that. New jobs are refreshing. But also, I mean, is
a little stressful, a little nervous.
Yeah.
You're always a little nervous.
I wanted to talk too, and I have some other goodies too for today's show. It's not really belief or religious or the holiday related, but I got some goodies for later on.
Cool.
But no, I wanted to say just a couple other quick notes on Easter. Easter is kind of like the most important holiday for Christians.
Yeah,
it's celebrating the resurrection,
which is that's the point where they like really assign divinity.
Yeah, and they also fudge their other days based on the date, because the date of Easter changes year to year.
Yeah.
It's a different day, and they base all the other days, holidays that they celebrate and recognize off of, not all, but most are based off of that date.
Yep.
Yeah, so just change, man. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
Mix it up every year.
Yeah.
Make it a different different day.
Well, yeah, I forget the exact, because I think it's like Ash Wednesday has like a date that floats, and then Easter's 40 days after Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, and then Palm Sunday.
And then Palm Sunday's a week before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Sunday. It's on a Sunday, but yes,
Yeah.
But yeah, the days definitely do change depending on that. Like, whatever day Easter falls on, then they fudge those days. Here, I'll say it more clearly. The date of Easter changes each year, and several other Christian festivals fix their dates by reference to Easter. So there's speeching it right for you sticklers out there.
Well, this brings up like a fun fact that we always kicked around 420 back in the day.
Okay.
So here's
All right, let's do it.
So to counteract the evil magic of 420 being Hitler's birthday, a friend of mine was like, and I'd heard this before I'd heard this
That's
too.
his birthday for real?
Yeah, Hitler's birthday's 420.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
But I had heard this before too. Like, but he's like, no, man, we're gonna change that. We're gonna bring some good magic in that. Did you know that? So I heard this like thing like, so like if you're gonna like go off of Jesus's birthday, if you look at like the evidence around, if you look at like the passages around it, it's in a manger and stuff, and
Right.
like where the animals are at, like described, and like everything, like it would be spring.
Right.
Judging on like you know, like farming and stuff, like it would be springtime. So like we always would say like, oh no, 420, that's the real Jesus birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to like, you know.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Not explained that thoroughly, but
I had heard before the 420 even. I had heard like about like like
right. And when's his birthday?
they assigned it to the pagan,
Right, but
like
okay.
around the winter solstice.
Is the birth? What is Christmas? That's the birth.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
The birth of little baby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, obviously, in a normal world, your birth and your birthday are the same day.
yeah.
But is that so in Christian beliefs?
It depends who you at. Like, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, there's many denominations, and like, yeah, like even when you get in, and yeah,
That gets a little weird. Just going from denomination to denomination, what they believe, and just the whole finger pointing like that everybody's wrong if you don't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's why I can't buy in. But I would never discourage anybody from believing,
No.
having hope, faith, any of that. Those are all great things.
yeah.
You know, but it's just not it's not the ride for me.
No, it's not for It's not for everybody.
Yeah, definitely not for everybody. But yeah, I'm not going to slam them like Apple. You know what I mean?
yeah.
There's already enough people out there doing that with atheists and agnostics. And that's another thing. Depending on who you talk to, and I wish there was a way to get real numbers, because media, and you kind of brought this up, media is a crazy thing.
It's all spin.
Yeah. We've got no spin. We've got no agenda.
No.
Don't delay. Subscribe. Antisocial Experience Podcast. Download today. That's
That's
our
our
that's our agenda. If you need to know for sure.
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcast, iTunes on Mac OS and Windows.
We're just looking for some people crazy enough to listen to us.
We're all over the map. But no, back to the media. It's all some kind of spin. In the whole, what was my point about? I had something. I got to backtrack. Religion. You brought up with politics. Was your whole thing you said about media?
Listening to the other side, like make sure you get like, don't just read one headline.
Oh, right.
Like read actual articles from like different sources, and then form your opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
base an opinion off that. And I wish there was like a real way to get numbers, because you hear these crazy, Christian apologists saying that religion's on the rise with that, and then you hear atheists and agnostics saying that agnosticism is on the rise, and it's like, okay, well, are they both on the rise, or is the other? And what do you go by? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not real important to our show here, but I just kind of wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
Kind of the tit for tat on politics, you know what I mean? Because I've heard both sides say that, and it's like, okay, you're absolutely crazy with the apologist thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're...
Well, just like two articles say like, and to say like I'm not perfect. a couple headlines that I saw, like, and didn't actually get to read in the articles, was one was saying that like millennials are getting married more and blah blah blah, and then I read another one that said like atheists and agnostics for the first time number the same as like evangelicals and like what like so.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just I know some people say the world isn't different today than it was 30 years ago. And I fully believe it is. In how people are like, no, we just hear about it more and hear about everything because of being so connected.
No, like we've definitely made real progress in the last 30 years.
Right. And just the whole attention span thing. And like you said, the marriage.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not going to sit down and watch an hour-long show, but I will watch, a couple 15, 30-second clips.
You need longer than 15, 30 seconds.
Right. Yeah, I think too, But hey, I'm not down in any type of media. Definitely not down in any type of media like that. Enjoy it if you like it. But that's also another thing I think that goes along with our medium here is with people that are growing up, younger generation. I mean, who do we speak to? Like you said, not slandering anybody, but crazy people. Like, who's going to sit and follow along for our 45 minutes, 50, an hour, however long it ends up being? Definitely, I don't think a younger crowd because of the attention span thing.
I
think there's some hard numbers with that too.
I will say like maybe generally no,
right?
Like, not like your average like younger person, but
right.
I could see us like appealing to like younger people who may be outcasts a little bit more, like because those are the ones who tend like they're like, well, they're antisocial generally, so like they tend to listen to a lot more podcasts, and if all we have to do is have a few views sync up with them, and and then they might start listening. So,
for sure.
But I think that can fit in like any age demographic too. We'd probably just appeal more to like outcasts.
All right, 13 to 105. We want you.
Okay. Yeah.
Should we drop to like 95?
No, we'll go.
All right, 105. No. You're in. 105.
No. Let's just.
All ages.
I don't want little kids listening to us.
Right. Correct. Yeah. There's some things that just aren't gonna benefit.
I say 18, and then a teenager with parental consent. If your parents are okay with you listening to this
13 with consent.
Yeah, if your parents are cool, like if you're under 18, ask your parents if they agree with what we're saying, and then see. Like
and I kind of brought that up last week with the whole Apple thing, and I'm not going to rehash that. But but I was going to say real quick, other than that, call it whatever age and up. Like, if you're 200, if you're Methuselah, I want you to listen to. Like, yeah, man. Do you got an opinion?
Yeah. Like,
do you have something to say on our show? Mm-hmm. Call in. Yeah. The whole, like I said, I'm not going to rehash the Apple thing, okay? But the one comment I said, it applies here too, about people can agree and disagree on a lot. And usually opposite sides will agree on some common things, like when they're arguing over whatever. Mm-hmm. Where they never agree on is where the line is. And that's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always the sticky part. Like, where do you put the line?
But that's why I feel like people need to like do their best to keep their cool and keep finding where the line is, Like,
right.
Not like,
right.
Yeah, like keep the dialogue going. Like,
I don't know, man. Like, I read some stuff and I don't like it. And I used to kind of get amped up about it. Yeah. And it's mostly stuff that, like, when I was 20, I wouldn't have cared. When I was a teenager, wouldn't have cared. In my 20s, wouldn't have cared. Maybe not even 30. I'd like, yeah. Mm. But, I read about it being a little older, and it's like, this shit's not even important right now. What are you wasting time with? You know what I mean? Mm. Like, do something better with your time.
Yeah.
Just the whole, and I'm not gonna deep dive into it, but it's in a large part a social issue, because it's going to be a mighty bland world in life and existence if everything's banned. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Oh no, like, I'm not for.
I mean,
if you shut someone, like, if that's your goal is to shut someone down, like, like we're just going to ban you and not let you, like, unless it's something serious, unless you're like really inciting violence against somebody or something, like then,
Right. That's
like,
a bit of a different story.
yeah. But if you're stating your opinion, and even if it's even if it's a distasteful opinion, as long as you're not like inciting violence, you're not harassing anybody. If you're just saying what you're like, then yeah, you got to watch out with that, because then all you're going to do is embolden that side that you ban.
Yeah.
You're just going to make a martyr out of them.
I agree on that.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, and that goes to, it actually speaks about our country. And you know what I mean? Some people complain about it. Like, I've heard people say it in the past. And were they serious 100%? Probably not. I don't know. I'm not them. I can't speak for them. But about this place sucks, I want to move here. Like, get it. Mm-hmm. Get it. We'll delete that.
Yeah, get your
Excuse
coffin.
me. Yeah, right, while the truck goes by. Hide it. No, boy, I can derail easy. No, the whole freedom of speech thing is definitely a good thing. In how other countries have kind of like a spin-off of that idea.
Even still, like other countries, like the UK, like there's not the same freedom of press that there is here. Same with Canada. Like, and we're talking about like what are considered like Western democracies, like,
right?
As well. Like, yeah,
right.
So, yeah, you gotta.
And I know we talked about the news story, the article, the whatever happened, but do you think the Nazi dog video could be pulled off in this country without? I think in this country it wouldn't have been as big of a story.
It would have caught traction for a week or two, but then it would have died out.
Right,
yeah.
But not been drug on for a year or two. Mm-hmm. Person hauled into court multiple times.
Yeah.
And fined for a prank video just to make your girlfriend mad.
Yeah.
I mean, and that it could be taken different way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So our freedom of press, freedom of speech here compared to other places.
It's important. That's why, like I said, like
that's why it's a good country.
Like, I'm not gonna like agree with somebody spouting off like racist stuff, but if you ban them, like what I said, like you're just gonna make a martyr of them. And I want to know who the racists are.
Right.
Like,
right.
Let them say it. Like,
other people we should ban. Them people, man. Them people with the phones taking pictures of their food. I can't taste that shit on Facebook and Instagram. Send me a sandwich, man. Let me know what it tastes like. No, okay, we don't need to ban them, but.
Well, okay. Here's like my issue with like, because I see that too. I see people like I saw a picture of like 3 people in a booth, all standing up taking pictures of their food.
Right.
Okay. Now, are you guys going to sit down and have a conversation with the person across from you about like the dinner you're having, or are you just going to immediately then dive into your social media?
Right.
Like, dude, you have people to talk about the food who are going to sit there and enjoy it with you.
That's as many times as I see it, I still think that's an odd thing. Mm-hmm. We're not like oh, those old. It's not like we're old.
Yeah.
And we're not young. We're middle age. But as many times as I see it, it still seems odd to see groups of people hanging out together, but not interacting like we did.
Yeah,
they're on their phones, glued to the screen, and it's like,
yeah,
it's always odd when I see it, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like I'm not saying they don't talk, don't associate with each other, but to be standing there, and I've actually seen like people texting each other that were in the same group, like that's
like, why are you hammering the network with that data when like speech would be more efficient at that
right,
point? Like,
right.
Yeah, like
get off my internet.
Yeah, like, come on.
I don't want to see your picture of your sandwich. Send me the sandwich. I want to know what it tastes like. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think that kind of, I've heard this from I've heard this from like people in like on podcasts who are like psychiatrists and counselors, like licensed, saying like, a lot of times, and like this is consider this anecdotal. Don't take this as like canon or anything. But like a lot of times, the people on like social media, like all the time, like that, doing that, like they want it's because they're trying to make their life look better than it actually is.
Right.
Like, and honestly, like you and me, we're dads. We have a life. Who's got time for that nonsense? Like, like
There's dads that do it.
there's dads that do it. I'm not saying like, well, there's dads that work like 60 hours a week, like 60, 80 hours a week and still find time for stuff. And you're like, when do they sleep? But that's just a wide spectrum of people,
Yeah. Like another thing is people that, and I don't know, maybe they're taking it, maybe it's to a level where it can become unhealthy, but the people that thrive on social media, they need that to get through the day.
I think we should differentiate people that are actually on there for their livelihood and people who are on there to like feel better or looking for that next dopamine hit of that fresh meme,
That or stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot. I mean,
yeah, I know, I've known people like that, like their sole purpose was to stir the pot on there. Like,
that's not my sole purpose, but I do enjoy stirring the pot.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, why would it be on a podcast?
Right. But no, yeah,
and I've fallen victim to I don't like this. I honestly I'll share funny stuff, but I've fallen victim to that scrolling, looking for that next dopamine hit of that fresh meme. Like I've been there,
I get bored after the first one.
I usually find a couple and I'm good.
Except Instagram. Instagram will be such a time suck for me because I could waste days there. That's why I don't use it that often.
See, it's weird. It's more Facebook for me. Instagram doesn't have that effect on me.
I like photography.
Yeah, you're more of a photo bug than me for sure. Yeah,
I'm a photographer.
Yeah,
one of them dummies.
Yeah,
no, I mean not them, me.
No.
Yeah. Oh shit. Moving on, man. I've got some good stuff here. Okay. As long as the note's saved, I did type it up.
All right.
Just some news from the past week. Something I was sad to see. Notre Dame catching on fire. Dude, that place has history.
Yeah.
Did you read any of the articles about it or see about it?
No, because I only saw the argument that came up because of it.
Okay.
The argument was you have all these. Okay, they're fair points. Fair point. But there are people saying all these people are going to donate billions now to fix that when we have all these other problems here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that for sure.
It's their money. They can do what they want.
But then that's the other side of the coin. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But well, I saw I saw some stuff get twisted. Somebody was Ben Shapiro was talking said some stuff about oh man, this is a bummer, this is a symbol, this is
he's hard to quote, and
he's well, I want to get him right.
Right. Yeah, do him justice.
People misquote him an awful lot and twist his words.
Oh yeah, too. I think a lot, a lot more than most people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he was just saying about Notre Dame was an example of Judeo-Christian something or other. I don't want to misquote either, and people attacked him for being how can you call blah blah Judeo-Christian? It's it's a cathedral.
Yeah.
Where
is the missing link here?
Yeah,
what aren't you picking up?
He's talking about Judeo-Christian ethics in relation to the cathedral, and people are you can't do that, but it's a cathedral. Of course.
Right. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, okay.
I just I remember, and I'm not saying it was obviously it was important, a lot of history.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But what I'm saying, not important, is I told my mom about it.
It's an architectural wonder or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I told my mom about it, and she's like, what? And I'm like, Notre Dame burnt down the cathedral, the building. It burnt down.
And that survived World War I, World War II. Yeah.
It's been around. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. And, so her reaction, she was shocked.
Yeah.
Did they say why? Did you pick up on that? Was it part of the renovations that caused the fire?
So all I saw was it started on the center of the roof, and when I saw pictures, there was scaffolding and stuff around it. So,
yeah, they were doing lots of renovations, and it was suspected at first. I didn't follow it past that just because I haven't had much time this past week, but I did see that. And the timing of some of these things that happen, I also want to like move our show to like a different day, because it seems like all this crazy stuff happens the day after we do the stream or record.
Well, hey, we're on the same schedule as John Oliver, man. He does Last Week Tonight on Sundays, so he's yeah.
I think we're on a good schedule. I mean, not the nighttime thing. This is a special edition for Easter.
Yeah, we both had prior obligations, couldn't make the regular time today.
And speaking of burning it down, damn, Samsung, they burn it down pretty good with this one. They lit a hot fire.
Oh, another battery thing?
No, man. Yeah. They didn't literally burn it down, but just figuratively speaking.
Well, I mean...
Galaxy Fold?
Oh, what's up with it? Because I saw a headline, but didn't get to...
Folding phone.
Yeah.
Samsung's been working on bendable glass for years, sorry about the mic, people, trying to perfect it, okay? Mm-hmm. They get review units out there for people and get them into the hands of people. And they work for a few days. Like after a couple days, started having major malfunctions. Half of the screen being white, the other half black. It looked like part of the screen was bleeding into another on one. What it was when you get a new phone, there's that little screen protector you peel off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so satisfying. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right off, yeah. Well, there's one that's on there that's supposed to be permanent, but it has like a little edge to it.
Oh, like
you can see it in MKBHD or MB, however you say his name, YouTube tech reviewer.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail. Something was going on. Marquis Brownlee.
Yeah.
Like
he actually peeled his off. Yeah, he peeled his off and contacted Samsung. They sent him another one, and apparently it's only going to happen with some of the phones. But that's like that phone was out in the wild for a couple days.
So that was the issue. That was what was causing the problem. If you took that layer that was supposed to be on, or something else.
Yeah, and then some of the newer units that people were getting replaced, and that people started getting at carriers. They took and put like a little text imprint on the
don't peel.
Well, on the screen protector that does peel. Like leave the other one.
Yeah.
Fine print, and like shit, who reads the fine print on that? Nobody's gonna read that. It needs to be screen size.
Yeah, or just don't have it to where you can peel it off if it's supposed to stay on. So
the foldable Samsung Galaxy Fold foldable screen turns out not to be glass. It's plastic in a sense. Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong. When I have like something that can go from a phone to a tablet,
that's badass.
That's badass.
Yeah. Like, that definitely.
Yeah. Like definitely. I mean, don't stop trying with it for sure. But
next article on my list of Easter stuff that don't really fit in, but it's kind of weird. I remember as a kid getting gifts at Easter time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think that was part on my parents doing it. I think it was part on me, like trying to carry it over, like,
oh yeah,
like bargaining with them. Like, look, I get stuff on my birthday. I go out and get candy on Halloween. Lots of food on Thanksgiving. Presents, buku presents on Christmas. You guys have New Year's. I can't do nothing. I get to watch a ball drop. That's lame as hell, right? President's Day got nothing for me. I'm not old enough for Valentine's Day, really. You know what? The Valentine's at school.
Oh, like the little cards, yeah.
Okay, that's lame. Easter, I want more than candy. You got a couple days to make up for.
Yeah,
and I would get like something expensive. And I think that
same thing. It turned into we got a video game at Easter. Yep.
I remember one Easter, I got a Game Gear.
We would never get consoles. We would be like, that's the thing. It was meant to be like you can have a small present, so you can just get a game.
Right. But how badass was that? Getting a Game Gear for Easter.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, dude. Back in the day.
As long as you want to chew through all those batteries, yeah.
I had the wall wart. I plug in direct, man. That was the only way to do it.
Yeah. Oh no, you chew through batteries otherwise.
Or you'd have like a warehouse full of double A's on chargers, ready, ready to be on deck.
Yep. So video games, but then like candy and stuff. But like my daughter, when my wife got her a basket that was like, Hatchimals. You seen those? Because they're eggs. They're like little eggs with toys. And like we got like we got her mainly toys because we're trying to like, well, we're like, dude, everyone else is gonna give her candy and like like too much candy. Like,
Yeah, it's not Halloween.
yeah, like
Not Halloween. I know a real popular thing with my kids. We got them bikes, I think. Or yeah, bikes for birthday and Easter. Like a real common popular thing is bikes. But no, that was just a little side note to tie in with Easter before we get on the last tangent here. All right, Tim, let me ask you. Say your job was disassembling phones to recycle them. Okay, and specifically iPhones.
Okay.
Even more specifically than that.
The iPhone 10.
Well, I'm gonna get you a number.
All right. Which iPhone?
From 2012's iPhone 5 up to 2018's iPhone X or iPhone 10, whatever you want to call it. It's got a Roman numeral, people.
Oh, that's the thing. I've heard like
Both.
yeah.
Yeah. Going from those years, the iPhone 5 of 2012, iPhone 10 in 2018, that covers 15 different models.
Yeah, when you count the variations and stuff.
Right. Now, if your job was tearing those down, how many do you think you could do in an hour?
What does it entail tearing it down? Like get it down to every individual piece?
You're gonna like tear it down, remove the screen, remove the motherboard, get the outer housing that's aluminum that could be recycled.
So you're basically taking it all apart, except for, like, you aren't going down on the motherboard, but like up to that point, you're taking it apart.
Well, you're gonna take everything
battery,
out of the shell. Yeah, battery out, motherboard out, and so you have the rear casing that's aluminum and glass.
Okay. Well, considering I work with steel and get to, like, you know, I get to be rough with it.
Right.
Are we talking like at the beginning or once I had like a few months practice?
A few months practice. You're just ripping down iPhones.
I could get really fast at it. I'm very fast at manual labor.
I know. I'm not trying to go for records when I've done repairs, but I could probably pull out 2, maybe 3, safely doing it right if I'm going speedy on it. Screen swaps on like an iPhone 5 on up, because basically they're built the same way to an extent with minor changes. It's just newer hardware.
So 2 or 3 in
an hour.
In an hour.
Yeah, that's doing the screen swap. Now, mind you, that's 2 screws out of the bottom.
That's not taking it all the way apart.
Right. You flip the screen up, remove 4 to 5 more screws, and that releases your display. You got to swap over small parts, camera, sensors, and that crap from the old display to the new one. Put it back in, 4 or 5 screws in, then 2 screws in the bottom.
So you want to call it full teardown, maybe 1 to 2 an hour?
Right.
Okay.
And that's with experience.
Yep.
All right. So let's look at this. I got to pull this up. So Daisy's the name.
Okay.
Daisy is a 33-foot long robot, has 5 arms, and can methodically deconstruct any of those 15 iPhone models 200 per hour.
Oh, yeah, that's, yeah.
So it's basically an iPhone recycler.
Yep.
Could you think?
But, well, no, not basically. That's what that machine was designed to do. But here's the thing. This goes into, like, people, like, in the, like, when people get, like, don't get me wrong, automation's definitely a thing that's coming, but, like, people are always like, because like welding, they're like, oh man, like automation's coming, and it's the same thing. Like, dude, automation has been around for a while, but like if you take that machine and throw some Samsung phones in it, it's not gonna be able to do it, right? Or it will after like more work put in to get it to switch over.
Right.
Yeah, like is like big assembly line automation like that is generally geared for one specific task.
Right.
And takes a lot of effort to switch it over.
Right. And this is what that's what that thing was built to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when I heard about it, I'm like, oh, Daisy's a robot recycling phones. And I clicked on the article and I'm like, whoa, 200 per hour? Mm-hmm. That's badass.
Oh, yeah. No.
And 200 phones is a lot of freaking iPhones, man. Mm. We're not even counting all the other manufacturers and models. That's iPhones.
Yeah, that's just, yeah. But how much did that machine cost?
I didn't. Well,
that's the thing, dude. Like, I can look for a cheap mandrel pipe bender to like start doing like car exhausts, and a cheap one is like $20,000, and that's a dumb machine. You know, not to call
Yeah.
that, but like there's no, you know, like it's all manually operated. Like, so
It's nuts. Like 200 per hour. And like I didn't get a work schedule like this thing's working 24. You know what I mean? How many hours a day? How many days a week?
well, that's the thing. That's where they make up for it, is because they can go
Right.
24 hours.
Right.
Like,
And it's not a person. Minimal downtime for regular maintenance, and if something breaks, probably not as minimal, but a little more downtime, swap apart, and hopefully not a major repair back up to deconstruct an iPhones.
yeah.
That should speak to how much e-waste there is going on, and and a lot of it ends up in China. That's one thing. Strange parts on YouTube. I hate doing shout outs. I don't know these people, but he does cool videos. He added an headphone jack back into his iPhone, like an iPhone, whichever one they removed the
7,
headphone
I
jack
think.
on. Yeah. He put an iPhone jack in it. He learned how to do soldering with a hot air rework state, like soldering gun and hot air station. And upgraded his iPhone up, I think, up to 128 gigs from 64. Like changed out the NAND chip, the SSD. He's done a lot of cool videos, but when he goes to some of the markets in like Shenzhen and other places, shopping for that stuff,
Like a red haired dude.
yeah,
I've seen him.
yeah, and just the amount of stuff and having to meet a contact to get that 128 gig upgrade part. Like the sheer number, like there's people in back alleys that just have phones laid out, just
Oh yeah, I saw one where he was
20, yeah.
I think I might have seen that one. I might have seen that one because like he bought like a bunch of junk boards to practice soldering. And stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
and finally did it. He had to prototype his own part in that, adding the headphone. Yeah. But just the level of e-waste that ends up over there, and people are making a living selling this stuff to.
And yeah, I've heard rumblings that China doesn't want to but they're probably full up. But they're considering not taking it. We used to just ship like garbage there too, and they would just buy up garbage. But I think they're starting to ease up on that and not buy as much.
You got to wonder what deal goes on, like what form of glad handing is going on when like we haul garbage to New Jersey, and then other stuff gets hauled from other places to here, like garbage. Like,
yeah, couldn't we just like save on the transit?
yeah, like what is going on there? Build a robot to do it.
Yep. Yeah, that's.
I don't know. I'm not trying to put any drivers out of jobs here, man. But
Well,
like,
I mean, it's an interesting point. Yeah.
yeah, we're hauling stuff to Jersey, and then Jersey and other places hauling stuff back, like for landfills. Like,
Yeah. Like we're buying their garbage, they're buying our garbage.
we got to
like,
get rid of our stuff there and their stuff. And like, that's a lot of gas, man.
Yeah.
A lot of gas. Diesel. I don't.
Well,
want,
yeah, man.
I don't want to exclude any petrol types, any fuel. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah. We're all encompassing when it comes to dead
all
dinosaur juice.
inclusive.
Yeah.
We need Metallica, like singing some kind of inclusivity song, like as a backing track to our.
All right. I didn't picture Metallica singing that kind. Yeah, but all right.
Hey, you got one guy that's Sue happy, which he has the right to be. It was his product, and then you got Hetfield.
I don't know Metallica that well.
I don't either, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. They didn't sue me, so
Yeah, that's all I know is that like they sued they sued regular schmoes for downloading their songs. Like,
if they did sue me, they wouldn't have got through because I would have went for that rope on sale. I'm telling you, I'm not dealing with them.
okay, so if we're talking back in the day when I was like, when would that be?
Yeah,
I would
okay,
have been
that's
like
true.
in high school. Yeah, I would have been
That's
like,
true.
I would have been like. I've been like, go ahead and sue me. I'm 14. What are you gonna get?
Yeah, well, wouldn't they just go after your parents at that point and bring them into it?
I'd be like, dude, they're middle class. What are you gonna get? Like, you're Metallica.
You get
Like,
nothing. Yeah.
yeah. Like,
That was shocking when I heard that, and that's probably the oldest news we've covered for modern times.
yeah, we haven't gone too far back.
Metallica and Napster. Yeah.
and we like to go back to that one too. That's a oldie but a goodie.
What, Napster?
Well, just Metallica suing people. We've brought that up a few times.
Yeah. It was shocking, but hey, they had every right to.
Yeah. Okay, like, well, it was more of a Wild West time too. Nowadays,
Yeah.
people go after who's distributing the files. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, other people have been getting sued that had the file on their computer, like seeding out.
Yeah, seeding out, like distributing the file.
Well, yeah, correct. Yeah, I don't. There was at that time versus now, they didn't really have a model worked out for the digital music.
Well, I think didn't that lead into like the DMCA or DCMA, whichever one.
However, I forget the initials.
Rights, the millennial digital rights thing, yeah. Like
it did.
Copyright in the digital age, yeah. Like I think that led to it.
And then again, and like I said, I don't want to slam anybody, but what band would it be? Oh, yeah, Kiss. Okay. Every time a new album comes out, it's got like the same collection of greatest hits on it, and maybe an additional track or two. They released a lot of stuff like that, and Gene Simmons owns the you know what I mean?
Yeah, he owns it. Yeah.
And
here's the reason that so my buddy wanted to prove a point to me back then because I was like, yeah, Kiss is all right? He's like, have you ever listened to like some of their other songs? Like, right. Yeah, it's like they got their hits. I think there's a reason they keep redoing the hits because some of those other songs are not great.
No. And I think Gene Simmons did some kind of special collector's edition like box set.
Yeah.
And it was outrageously priced.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. I've heard Anthony Cumia, Jim Norton, like a bunch of other like people like with celebrity, like have said multiple times, Gene Simmons is a prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I hear. I mean, allegedly.
I mean, he's got a good image on TV. And like I said, I don't know him personally, so I can't.
Oh, Bert Kreischer, that's who else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
a lot.
Yeah.
Did you go off their opinion, or I mean, do you go what you read in the media?
Well, okay. Here's the thing: if it was just like one or two people, then I'd be like, oh, maybe they just had a bad run-in. But when you start getting over 5 to 10 people, like
everybody's run-in is negative.
Yeah, maybe there's something to that.
Yeah. I mean, that's duck. We don't know. Got to check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, what really matters is what you come up with in here. Yeah. Is it a duck?
If it quacks like, yeah.
Does it quack like a duck? Think about it. Yeah. Think about it, Tim. Think about it deep down. Is that a duck? I don't know, man. I'm getting lost here. Anyhow.
Well, the Bert Kreischer story that I heard was like, because he was a huge Kiss fan.
Yeah.
And like Gene Simmons was not cool to him. Like basically treated him like dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never did go over that topic, man. The rabid fandom.
Oh, yeah, we only dabbled. Yeah, we only touched on it.
That, for people that are popular in social media, in bands, whatever, as a celebrity, movie star, TV star, influencer, which is kind of like one of them terms. Like, it's like a slimy term. Influencer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's
a true term.
It's sure true. Yeah.
Right. And you got... You're not saying you're nobody, but you're not well known, and you start becoming more well known. And you got hundreds of people that know you, and thousands, and gets up into the hundreds of thousands, millions. That's got to have some kind of effect on you to where,
oh yeah,
when you have an interaction with a well-meaning person, you're probably gonna, you know what I mean? You may not have had a good day, and you lose your shit on them. Like,
oh yeah, that can.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to deal with that type of...
What are you talking about? I do that in regular life.
Fuck yeah. Fuck them people.
Like, yeah, like, I
no people here. Get out.
Yeah, like, you don't have to be a celebrity to get rubbed the wrong way on a bad day,
Oh, yeah, man. Bad days happen. They exist.
Yeah, like...
Today was a good one.
Yeah, I had a good day.
Easter, man. We can wrap this up. I don't really have anywhere to go.
Game of Thrones. That's where I got to go.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the last season, right? They're not okie doking us and gonna.
This is it. Well, they have nowhere else to go for like the past 3. So this is season 8. Since like season 5, season 5 is when they like really like for sure outpaced the books, and they had some story threads before that season that already outpaced the books. So like, yeah, they got to end it. Like, you caught up? Did you watch last week's?
No, man, I'm not caught up, but I haven't been watching for a while.
All right, man, I'm caught up. Well, I'm just at this point. I'm ready to just see the ending. I'm just ready to see who makes it in Game of Thrones. That's it.
What do you mean, who makes it? Don't tell me.
No. I mean, it's like it's Game of Thrones. Like the producers have said, it's going to be a bittersweet ending, but it's Game of Thrones, dude. A bunch of people are not going to make it to the end.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like
Endgame soon, right?
I think next week coming up.
yeah.
Yeah, this week, this Friday maybe. Yeah, I think.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yep.
I'm going to watch it.
But yeah, no, Game of Thrones. It bugged me with Game of Thrones having 2 years off, having that
2 years off?
from season. They skipped a year between 7 and 8. Last year there was no Game of Thrones.
How did the fans stick around for an empty year?
Well, I mean, I'd be interested to see the numbers, like if there was a drop off.
Dude, I remember when there numbers. You'd be interested to see. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I remember when people were losing it whenever there was the writer's strike, and like Lost was delayed, and then other shows got delayed.
My Name Is Earl never came back. Like a bunch of shows never came back.
Yeah,
from the, like writer's
people
strike. Yeah.
lost their shit
Yeah.
over TV shows.
Oh, I was just.
You kidding me, man? That's pathetic. It's a TV show. Get back to real life. Go to work.
Yeah.
Be responsible. I can't. I was mad too. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, you liked Lost, didn't you?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I never watched that, so.
You know what? If I had known more about podcasting, then
That would have been the time. You could have.
I would have done what a lot of other people did probably, and had a Lost podcast, like finding other fans, sit down,
Yeah.
talk about it, diagnose it, dissect it.
But that would have been the time because there only would have been a few. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Instead of today where there's
hey, man.
speculating.
Yeah. But
Great show, yeah. If I known what I know now and more about podcasting back then, definitely 100% I would have had a Lost podcast.
yeah, I could have had a Game of Thrones one or something. You know, like well, that's like. Oh, the time for Star Wars would have been years ago too. Like for a Star Wars podcast, like.
Yeah, back in 2004.
Oh no, dude! Because like.
Well,
that's the thing. Like,
that's when it was created. Podcasting.
Yeah, but before the Disney buyout of Star Wars,
Right.
Like, it was a weird time because like we had the expanded universe, we had like some video games here and there, but like basically like we thought there was not going to be anything else new. Like there was episode 7 was literally a joke in a sketch show because like people thought it was never going to happen.
What was episode 7?
The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah.
But like George Lucas for years was like never going to be another trilogy. Like, so we were just fans of Star Wars were just kind of resigned to like,
And they
oh,
did
this
it.
is what we got.
They did it.
Well, George Lucas couldn't turn down that money from Disney. The mouse
Disney
money.
dollar is greener than your other dollars.
And
Far and wide, it's so green.
but yeah, and then here's the thing though, like speaking back to like Game of Thrones in that year off, like they pissed a lot of I know Pope Jones he was like, Star Wars is dead to me. I'm done. He's like, I cried a little bit when they killed the EU.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, like there were, because like we basically like no new movies were going to come out. You might get like a TV show or something, but
Game
or
comics,
but
Yeah.
like or no, you were definitely going to get comics and books for sure.
Yeah,
like that's what the EU thrived on. But basically, it was kind of like, okay, the universe belongs to the fans now. At that, and like the fans ate it up. Like I was with it too. Like, and then when Disney bought it out and said like the EU's done, like all this, like we're scrapping it. Like beloved characters that the fandom came up with,
dummies,
and ran, like, and they're just like, nah, and that pissed a lot of Star Wars fans off right there. And then when
it came out, the topic came up at some point.
And Force Awakens, people were like, okay, it's Star Wars. Like, granted, it's but it's still Star Wars. And then Last Jedi was when like that was like the other slap in the face for a lot of fans.
Right. But I will say, if you compare and contrast The Force Awakens to the phony clones and the
prequels, is that what you're talking about?
Prequels, yeah. If you compare The Force Awakens to those,
so
The Force Awakens feels like it takes place in the same universe, you know what I mean?
As the original trilogy?
As the original trilogy versus
the prequels.
The prequels were just like,
shiny and new. Everything was, it was all
Right.
CGI. Everything was shiny, new.
Right. Shit was just so far off the map.
But for the narrative, it fits in because
Right,
it's the fall of the Republic, the rise of an empire.
Right.
But you go through. That's like, I forget who said it, but like I think it was like some guys from Red Letter Media, and it was a good point that like they liked the Star Wars universe because it was sci-fi, but it felt lived in. Like, things had grime to them. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like a place. It felt like a universe where people actually existed.
For the original trilogy.
Just for
Or all of it.
oh, because even in the prequels, you do there. If you look, there's a little bit of that grime around the edges.
Right.
It seems
Right.
lived
Just
in, but
not enough.
not enough. Like, but
Just The Force Awakens was so much more.
it felt like Star Wars.
It did compared to the prequels.
Yep.
And we even commented about that right after the movie. Yeah.
Oh, I went through and I was like, here's how it's A New Hope. Here's how it's like, yeah.
Yeah, they just redid A New Hope with more like modern gear.
A bigger Death Star and like. But when I brought that point up with Pope Nose, and he was like, yeah, I don't care, but it was Star Wars. Like, of course, like Return of the Jedi did the same thing. They just had another Death Star as well. like, it's still Star Wars, and you didn't care then, so I was like, all right, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
but let's make one as big as the planet.
Yeah, that's why Empire Strikes Back is gonna always kind of, because it was different. Like in comparison to the other movies, it was different.
Yeah,
like
I'll give it that. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
All right, man. There's nowhere to end this. Nowhere clean.
Nowhere clean.
Hell no. I think we're just gonna end it.
All right.
We had some engagements. I gotta refresh the page and get to it. But there's some people out there. We've got something.
Oh, do we have any questions, real quick? If we got some questions.
No questions, man. No questions.
All right. Whew, yeah. That was a good one.
Hey man, it was an Easter show.
Easter show. Got to spout off some good stuff.
Couldn't get too bummer on it.
Yeah.
To everybody out there, to using you and yours, your people, your kind, your kin.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, your people?
People out there. Yeah.
I'm joking. That's a pretty old joke.
Yeah. Them other ones over there. In lost terms, the others. But no, hopefully your holidays were happy or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's the terminology for Easter? Happy holidays? Does that apply? Because that's kind of like Christmas, New Year's-y.
I think you just say Happy Easter because, like, you say Happy Holidays because, like, other holidays fall around the same time.
All right, Merry Easter. Let your Easter be merry.
Well, Passover was yesterday too, so I guess.
Isn't that a Jewish thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm not Jewish.
Yeah.
I'm going off what I've heard.
Yeah.
But you can't believe all what you hear. So.
Well, okay. Like the story of Passover.
Shit.
The story of Passover that's burned the most into my head is the one they told in Rugrats. So.
Is it quick?
No, it's like I think it's
like a whole episode.
It's like a whole episode.
Okay, yeah, we don't have time to.
Yeah, like I think they get locked in an attic, so they just like tell old tales and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I think they get locked in the attic like on Passover.
Right.
So they tell the Passover story.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm about to check it out. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
It could waste some time.
Yeah. Well, my kid's been watching Rugrats, so just
Going through the original run.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that still a current? Like, is that current? Are they still doing it? No, ended long ago.
Ended long ago, and then they came back with like Rugrats all grown up. Like,
yeah,
it's not the right term because they're like in middle school, so not really all grown up.
Right, but they're not. Weren't some of them babies in the original cartoon? Or wasn't there like a baby or kindergarten or something?
No,
Head Start.
In the original, they run like. I think like Tommy's turns 1 in the first episode, and then it's like a cartoon. They stay the same age. So, but then they have a younger brother. So like there's like a newborn, but then the rest are like from like 1 to like 3 or 4.
Okay.
There's a couple of the kids that are like 3 or 4, and then the other ones are like 1 or 2.
Do you see where we're going, people? We're associating, relating to Rugrats.
Yeah, my kid's been watching it for like a month straight. So sorry.
Anyways, have a happy rest of your holiday for the few hours that are remaining.
Yeah, enjoy it. Get on to Game of Thrones. I know I got to catch up. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yep.
Send it, man.
Full send
Full send.
for the boys.
Have a good week.